Hello guys, welcome to iTutor. Today we will discuss the topic Environmental Protection Act. This is the last topic in Environment and Development chapter, and in UGC paper 1 we are just left with the comprehension, mathematical reasoning and aptitude, logical reasoning, data interpretation, and communication technology and higher education system. And in these topics I will cover ICT, that is communication technology and higher education also, and other portions, that is comprehension, mathematical reasoning and aptitude, logical reasoning, data interpretation. These four topics you will do practice the questions. It is questions I will share in through this channel, and you practice the comprehension part also, and the comprehension practice books are available in market, and so do it. And otherwise UGC last year question papers are available from internet also. Otherwise in hard copies of books are available. Truman's books are there. You just follow that. It's good for your preparation Truman series. So you will get more questions, and mathematical reasoning and aptitude also you need to practice, and logical reasoning also. There is data interpretation also. So these four topics need thorough practice, then only you can do fast in the examination hall, and practice is needed. And other two chapters I will do it internet, that is communication technology and higher education. Okay, if you have any doubt you can ask in the comprehension and mathematical reasoning and logical reasoning, data interpretation part you can ask. And so we will continue the development and environmental part, that is Environmental Protection Act. Today we will deal with. And Environmental Protection Act of 1986. First of all, the 19th November 1986 Environmental Protection Act came in force in the Parliament of India in the wake of Bhopal tragedy. It is under Article 253 of the Indian Constitution. The Environment Protection Act is mainly to the protection and development of the environment from danger of human beings, other living beings, plant and property. It mainly focuses on the prevention and development of pollution in the environment and the causes of human health if any accident happens. And next one is National Action Plan on Climate Change. National Action Plan on Climate Change, NAPCC, an initiative formulated by Government of India on 30th June 2008 to deal with the future policies and programs for the climatic improvement and adjustment. It put together the National Plan on Water, Renewable Energy, Energy Efficiency, Agriculture, etc. The execution of the action plan are constituted under 8 missions that are responsible to achieve the goals of adaptation and improvement. They are as follows. National Action Plan on Climate Change, NAPCC, an initiative formulated by Government of India on 30th June 2008 to deal with the future policies and programs for the climatic improvement and adjustment. It put together the National Plan on Water, Renewable Energy, Energy Efficiency in Agriculture, etc. The execution of the action plan are constituted under 8 missions that are responsible to achieve the goals of adaptation and improvement. So these are the goals. One is National Solar Mission. The main objective is to use solar energy for power generation and other uses. To promote the use of solar power, this initiative was started in 2010. And next one is National Mission for Enhanced Energy Efficiency. The main objective is to save and promote maximum energy by developing new policies and measures. In 2009, the Prime Minister's Council approved it on climate change. And other one is National Mission on Sustainable Habitat. It emphasized on energy conservation, on urban waste management, recycling, which includes the production of power from waste, development of energy efficiency in building, and use of public transport. Prime Minister approved this mission in 2011. And the National Water Mission. It improves water efficiency through pricing and other measures. The main objective of the mission is to help to preserve water, minimize wastage, and to make sure that the distribution of water are done on an equitable basis across and within the state. Ministry of Water Resources, River Development and Ganga Rejuvenation are the members who supported this mission. And next one is National Mission for Sustaining the Himalayan Ecosystem. It aims to preserve the biodiversity, forest conservation and other ecological problems that are causing problems in the Himalayan region. And another one is National Mission for Green India. Its main goal is to expand the forest and promote Green India by protecting, refurbishing and enhancing the forest in India which are diminishing. It is taking various measures in responding to climate change by adopting and taking different steps towards it. In 2014, Ministry of Environment and Forest got go ahead to work on this from the Cabinet. And National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture, and its objective is to how climatic change affects crops and their developments through various mechanisms. For example, in areas where there are more rains, it focuses on integrated farming, use of water efficiently, soil health management, etc. It got approved from the government in 2010. And National Mission on Strategic Knowledge for Climate Change. It aims for the climatic changes and its impact. The mission tries to improve through research and international collaboration. The mission is run by the Department of Science and Technology. And international agreements or efforts. By international agreements, here it means treaties or contract between different countries for different global issues like air pollution, climatic change, protection of the ozone layer, etc. International agreements have different names like treaties, pacts, protocols, act, etc. Most of the agreements are legally binding between the countries that have approved them. Each nation has respective responsibilities under the agreements. And next is Montreal Protocol. The Montreal Protocol on Substances is a global agreement to protect the ozone layer by phasing out the production of various substances that are responsible for ozone reduction. The main objective of the Montreal Protocol was to protect the ozone layer by taking different steps to manage the production and consumption of depleting substances, that is ODS, and to remove it completely. It was agreed on 26 August 1987 and entered into force on 16 September 1989, following the first meeting in Helsinki, May 1989. It's signed by 16 September 1987. Okay, this is about the Montreal Protocol. And next is Rio Summit. Rio Summit, or the United Nations Conference on Environment and Development, UNCED, also known as Rio de Janeiro Earth Summit. It was a major United Nations conference which was held on Rio from 3rd to 14th June 1992. The main objective of the summit was to stop the destruction of various natural resources and to handle pollution which is affecting the planet, and the condition of the global environment and its association between economics, science and environment in a political context. 105 countries participated in the Earth Summit for this development. And the other one is Convention on Biodiversity. The Convention on Biodiversity, CBD, is an international treaty with three main objectives. One is conservation of biodiversity, second, sustainable use of biodiversity, third one is fair and equitable sharing of the benefits which occur from the genetic resources. This treaty was signed on 5th June 1992 and was effective from 29th December 1993. Over 196 countries participated in Rio de Janeiro. And other one is UNFCCC, United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. And UNFCCC Secretariat, that is in UN Climate Change, was established in 1992 when countries adopted the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. That's a full form of UNFCCC. UNFCCC entered into force on 21st March 1994. Today it has near universal membership. The 197 countries that have ratified the convention are called parties to the convention. The convention is legally non-binding but makes provision for the meeting called protocols, where negotiating countries can set legally binding limits. And next is Kyoto Protocol. The Kyoto Protocol is an international agreement which was extended on the 1992 United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, like to reduce the greenhouse gas emission based on scientific agreement. This protocol was signed on 11th December 1997 and was effective from 16th February 2005 in Kyoto. Over 192 countries participated in this protocol, and India has ratified the second commitment period of the Kyoto Protocol, known as the Doha Amendment to the Protocol. And Paris Agreement. Paris Agreement is an international agreement to fight against climate change. The main objective of this agreement was to stop global warming and the threat of dangerous climatic changes. Over 195 countries participated in Paris Agreement from 30th November to 11 December 2015. The Paris Agreement opened for signature on 22nd April 2016, Earth Day, at the UN headquarters in New York. It entered into force on 4th November 2016, holding the increase in the global average temperature to well below 2 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels, and to pursue effort to limit the temperature increase to 1.5 degree Celsius above pre-industrial level. And next is International Solar Alliance. In International Solar Alliance, over 122 countries participated, and the same was initiated by India and founded in the year 2015. And the main objective of this alliance is to increase the use of energy among the International Solar Alliance member countries in a convenient, safe, affordable and sustainable manner. The vision and mission of the International Solar Alliance is to provide a dedicated platform for cooperation among solar resources rich countries, where the global community, including bilateral and multilateral organizations, corporate industry and stakeholders, can make a positive contribution to assist and help achieve the common goals of increasing the use of solar energy in meeting energy needs of prospective ICSA member countries in a safe, convenient, affordable, equitable and sustainable manner. Its major objective include global deployment of over 1,000 gigawatt of solar generation capacity and mobilization of investment of over US dollar 1,000 billion into solar energy by 2030. So we discussed all the Environmental Act and protocols and agreements related to environment protection. So in worldwide, they are taking care of environment, because nowadays we are facing many problems and many degradation problems are also. So we discussed all of this. So please follow the videos continuously, then you will get an idea. So this is the last portion of the first paper in the environment and development part, and these are always updated one, because current news is if you will get, you please add on to this. It will help you, because this is not a stable, the Kyoto Protocol and everything will updated on the day, year by year, and their conventions will happen many countries. So you please follow the current part of it, but basic is this. Okay, so hope you understood. Do like the video and subscribe our channel if you like it, and if you have any doubt, you can mail on itutor.coms@gmail.com, and also you can comment it on comment box. Thank you.